The DJI Osmo Pocket 3 has several different gimbal modes. What are they? When do you use them? So the gimbal mode has to do with how the gimbal is going to move. Do you want to lock the roll so that you don't have something tilting side to side? Are you going to have it follow exactly where your movements go? If you want to tilt up and down, left and right. There are different speed variations too. How fast do you want it to move? And it also varies depending on if you are front facing or back facing the camera. Some of the modes behave a little differently. So let's get into it. Let's first take a look at the modes. We have follow, tilt lock, FPV, and FPV1. Let's take this outside and try the different modes. So we're actually going to start with the second mode, which is tilt lock. And in tilt lock, your horizontal is absolute. What does that mean? You can move left and right, and your tilt and your roll axis is locked. If I try to show you the top of this tree by tilting up, pay attention to the camera head. It's staying locked. It's keeping the camera locked at a perfect horizontal. So that's tilt lock. And what tilt lock's good for is if we're gonna walk. So if I wanted to walk around this tree and keep a nice even horizon, I could do that. You are limited to a left and right movement. Now, the same thing's gonna happen if I try to roll this camera. It's keeping the front of the camera straight. So this is tilt lock. Follow mode is similar, but it's gonna add the up and down. Watch what happens when I tilt up. If I wanna show you the top of the tree, I can now do that. The tilt and pan axis will follow. The roll axis is still locked. So now in FPV mode, it's going to give me full control of the camera in every direction with all three access points. So moving left to right, moving up and down. Now the roll axis is not locked in that mode. FPV1 is part of a recent update from DJI, and it's very similar to FPV. It just has a little bit more stabilization and smoothness to the camera movements. So both FPVs, the best way to think about that is wherever the monitor is facing, keep in mind you're in front view. So you're shooting something in front of you. Wherever the monitor is, that's where the camera's gonna move. So you tilt up, it follows up. Down, wherever you move, the monitor and the camera are gonna match each other's actions. FPV1 has a little bit more smoothness and stabilization to it. From what I've tested on both modes, they seem very similar to each other, but keep that in mind if you are doing a lot of action, run and gun, sports. In follow mode, the camera's gonna match the screen. So if I go up, so I can go up above me, I can go down. What that's good for is if you're vlogging and you want to show something behind you, if for whatever reason I wanted to show you this pergola behind me, I could kind of, pull away from myself, show you that, or lift up and show you that. There is a difference in tilt lock when you're in the selfie mode because you no longer have the Earth horizon lock on you. So see as I'm moving up and down, and it's very similar to follow, although not as extreme. It's also handy if you're walking to keep that mode in, just to keep things straight. So once again, with FPV mode, it's going to give me full range of motion with panning, tilting, and of course with rolling. Maybe there's a reason why you would want this mode on if you're vlogging, but for me, I think it's, you want to limit this motion. Last but not least is the FPV1 mode, back or selfie facing camera. You have the roll axis, all three axes are on point, and so hopefully that explains the different modes, and there are different reasons why you would use these modes. There's no right or wrong way to do it. It just is a matter of personal preference, what works for you. Take another look at walking in these different modes, in particular walking with the front facing mode. This is walking in follow mode. This is walking in tilt lock mode. This is walking in FPV mode. And this is walking in FPV1 mode. Another thing to consider is the rotational speed, and that's the icon to the left of the gimbal mode. And that's really going to depend on what you're filming, how fast you're going to be moving. So you have slow, default, and fast. It just has to do with how the actual camera reacts to when you move the gimbal itself. So in slow mode, the camera's going to move a little slower that way. So it's a smoother if you're going for that dreamlike motion. Now fast is going to be maybe more for sports or live action. You want it to move as you move. And then default is going to be a setting that's somewhere in between slow and fast, so you have a little bit of a lag but not too slow. One of the things I love about this camera is it's so easy just to take it out and record something. I use it for my YouTube channel because it's easy to just plug and play. It really does shine when you throw some light at it. But knowing these functions is important. Knowing how the different settings work and how you can best set them to suit you is what's going to make this tool an advantage to your toolbox. There's no wrong or right way to do this. There's a learning curve to everything. I've set it on settings that I thought would be appropriate for one thing and it's not, but this is how you learn. Take it out there every day and use it. Find different ways to use these settings and modes, and let's go out there and make some great art, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. See ya.